Over the last 3 decades, the Southern African region has experienced almost 500 climate disasters. And these natural disasters has resulted in 110,000 deaths, and almost 140 million people have been affected. In terms of natural disasters in Southern Africa, the region is majorly prone to floods, droughts, hail, wildfires, and storm surges.
It's important to focus on disaster risk, which is actually a component of hazard, exposure and vulnerability. And especially in Southern Africa, we see that the exposure is actually increasing because urbanization rate is very huge here in Africa. Also due to poor planning, you'll see that most of those people are actually starting to settle in places which actually also are more exposed to disasters. We're living in a semi-arid region here in Southern Africa, meaning that droughts are quite common. So for example, Botswana, and especially also the city of Gaborone, is one of the critical hotspots in the world when it comes to drought.
With respect to floods, the Southern African region is majorly prone to flash floods, as well as high runoff from high-intensity rainfall. And the major reason for this is because of poor maintenance of drainage infrastructure, as well as under-designed systems. And because of this, we have water level rise to hazardous levels within a short period of time.
Floods and droughts combined also with a lacking infrastructure, the fact that we have people settled in regions which are prone causes a high exposure for those people with low-income households. Urbanization is a very important driver for disaster risk. So what we need to do is follow the urban growth also with the right investments in terms of planning, focusing on awareness, prevention, preparedness and also proper emergency response. I think we need to focus more on risk assessments, knowing where our critical hotspots are, especially in areas where, well, measures are not really possible. For example, you can think of early warning systems that also help people to respond quicker when a disaster like floods will occur.
It's very important not only to focus on economic impact, but also social impact, as the majority of people affected by flood or natural disasters are the poor. So it is important that the government get planning right from the beginning so that we can reduce the risk and exposure of communities and organizations to extreme weather events. I also believe there's need to have better collaboration between different stakeholders in the public and the private sector.
One example I'm thinking of is the cloud-based system that we have developed in-house, which is called the Disaster Information Management System. And that's a system that looks at different types of hazards and can be used during disasters.
One of the ways digital services can enhance resilience in Southern Africa is by having a flash forecasting system. For example, we developed a flash forecasting system for Accra, Ghana, whereby we had high-resolution models developed to forecast flash floods within a short period of time.
So in summary, digital services can enhance resilience in urban areas, but it's important that the information from these digital services also reach the man on the street. And so we need to be in contact with local stakeholders also, that the information we provide is understandable in order to be very effective also in reducing disaster risks.